Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, the President and General Counsel of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country in the courtrooms of America. Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
Liberty Counsel is at the forefront of the Mississippi Personhood initiative, and those who seek to dehumanize children are none too happy about it. I'm Matt Barber, Vice President of Liberty Counsel Action, in today again for Matt Staver. And once again, joining me on the line is Steve Crampton, Liberty Counsel's General Counsel and Vice President with Liberty Counsel. Steve, you have been very, very involved in every level of this Mississippi Personhood initiative, an attempt to change the Mississippi Constitution to include people at all stages of development, from conception to natural death, under the definition of who is or who is not a person, and therefore who does or does not and can or cannot avail themselves of the constitutional rights that are guaranteed to each person. Tell us a little bit about, give us an update of where we are on the Personhood initiative there in Mississippi. And I understand that things are heating up, and there are there's a lot of disinformation and mistruths that are flying around. Am I right?
Matt, that's exactly right. It's the enormity of it is hard even to describe. But in a nutshell, as you are well aware, in the 1973 Roe against Wade case, the Supreme Court effectively dehumanized, as you put it in the intro there, the unborn by saying that they're not fully persons as recognized under the United States Constitution, and therefore, in effect, you can deal with them as blobs of tissue, as the abortion clinics are fond of telling their patients. So the personhood movement, and Mississippi's personhood amendment in particular, restores that common sense, frankly, it's biological fact, understanding that it's fully human and fully alive from the moment of fertilization. And by conferring personhood back on the unborn, we restore the right to life, the fundamental right to life. Well, our opponents, Planned Parenthood, American Civil Liberties Union, the Center for Reproductive Rights, all the usual and customary suspects are coming out of the woodwork and throwing out all kinds of insane, as you say, half-truths and untruths. For example, saying that people will be prosecuted if they just have a miscarriage, or all forms of birth control will be banned. And, the sky is falling. Doctors will not be able to practice simple OBGYN techniques anymore, blah, blah, blah. Because, as most of the nation knows, Mississippi is certainly among the most, if not the most, pro-life state in the nation, and the chances of passage here are very good. So come November 8th, this may be an historic turning point in the battle to protect life. And it's just the fur is flying, as they say here.
Well, and it certainly won't be the end of the judicial road. It'll, in fact, be the beginning.
I know.
Right. But that's the point. And my understanding is, Steve, as well, that there are many states looking to Mississippi right now that are encouraged by the legal successes that Liberty Counsel has had, that Personhood Mississippi has had thus far in shutting down the disinformation and misinformation and lies of eugenics groups like Planned Parenthood and the National Organization for Women and others. So we have had tremendous victories in getting this on the November ballot. It will be on the November ballot, correct?
That's right, Matt. In fact, just a month ago, we had a victory in the Mississippi Supreme Court that even allowed it to go forward to the ballot. So the Planned Parenthood and ACLU types sued to try to keep us off the ballot. But we've cleared the roadway there, and now we stand. There's nothing between us today and the vote November 8th, and so it's going to be voted on one way or the other, and it's a tremendous opportunity to educate just even, Christians in the pews as to what pro-life really means. So The discussions are ongoing. It's, I think, an opportunity to awaken our state in Mississippi and really the nation and return us back to basics. You know, one of the leaders in Personhood here said on a conference call just a couple days ago, you know, our first parents, Adam and Eve, were rocked by that simple question, yea, hath God really said, you know? So we go back to questioning what God said in the sixth commandment, thou shalt not kill, and to deny the truth that these unborn are fully human, fully alive, from the moment of fertilization, has opened to all sorts of bizarre efforts and the killing of the unborn in great numbers. We stand here today, 53 million and counting children slaughtered in the abortion holocaust in our nation. So, you know, this is really is an historic moment and a return to basics. And for those of us who claim to believe God's word, to return and really do something about this insanity that has resulted in blood being on all of our hands.
Well, this visceral, desperate reaction that we see coming from the militant, multi-billion-dollar abortion industry, I think it really underscores the fact that they are scared. And you mentioned the word truth. That's, those who love darkness seek to hide in darkness, and truth is light. And when we shine the light of truth on things as simple as the scientific fact, and they're at the time of Roe v. Wade, the court claimed that it was unsettled science as to when human life begins. Even politically pro-abortion scientists now agree that from the moment of conception we have a human life. So I think, am I right in saying that they fear this personhood initiative going before the United States Supreme Court because they will have to revisit Roe v. Wade, and that missing element, when does life actually begin, has now become settled science, and that Roe v. Wade house of cards comes crumbling down under the weight of truth. Am I correct?
Matt, you're absolutely right. And I think at the end of the day, yes, that's what they're doing here. They're trying, like the infamous image of the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. They don't want us to look behind the curtain because behind the curtain is truth, and they cannot deny that this is fully human, fully alive from the moment of fertilization. And so, as you say, the whole Roe v. Wade construct, which is all based on a lie, will come tumbling down. And we can return to that fundamental truth that sets forth really what America is founded on, right from the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident. You don't need an expert. You don't need some, biological guru to tell you all men are created equal. Mm-hmm. They're endowed not by the state, but by their Creator with unalienable rights. And among those, first and foremost, is the right to life. So,
Amen.
As a nation, this is an opportunity for us to return to our roots and establish, do we really believe what we say we're about here? Are we about all men being equal before God and before the law? I mean, it's a simple proposition, but profound in its consequences.
Well, just a couple minutes left here. Where does the Mississippi personhood movement go from here? And for that matter, what are next steps with the larger personhood effort?
Well, great question. A couple of things. One of the things that's really gratifying here is this isn't an issue for Republican versus Democrat. Our state attorney general is a Democrat. He has come out fully supportive of this amendment and said that he will fight to defend it if and when the ACLU and others sue to challenge it in federal court and say that it's a violation of Roe v. Wade. So one place we go is joining hands with even those across the political aisle in order to defend this and to come forward in the best legal defense we can posit to set the record straight across the whole of the United States. Second, many other states, we've heard from Arkansas, from Alabama, North Dakota's after it, Colorado's been after it, Florida's working on it right now, This is a movement. It's not limited to one state. It's going like wildfire.
Colorado,
all across the country.
Even in more liberal-leaning states like Colorado, they are motivated by what you and Mississippi Personhood have been up to. I'm encouraged by it. I know our listeners are encouraged by it. Folks, the culture of death that we have lived under post Roe v. Wade may be short for this world. We are looking to promote
Amen.
a culture of life. Liberty Counsel is at the forefront in promoting a culture of life. We'd like for you to join us in that effort. To learn more about how you can become part of Liberty Counsel's ministry, go to lc.org. Give us a call at 1-800-671-1776. Stand with us as we stand for life.
You have been listening to Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel. Our hope is to encourage and inspire you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email update. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.